Hollywood, too, has reacted to U.S. President Joe Biden's announcement that he will halt his re-election campaign and endorse Kamala Harris for president. Many, including names such as Robert De Niro, Barbara Streisand, Lee Daniels, celebrated the decision as a heroic and selfless move for the country. In a statement released by his PR team, Director Robert De Niro, an outspoken critic of Donald Trump, said, and I quote, "In an act of shrewd politics and selfless patriotism, Joe Biden is stepping aside to clear the path for another Democrat to become president, because there is nothing more important for our country than defeating Donald Trump at the ballot box. With respect, admiration, and affection, thank you, Mr. President," unquote. Director Aaron Sorkin, who previously endorsed Democratic Party nominee Mitt Romney, has now taken back his suggestion. In a fresh new post, he claimed that he would be endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris as the Democratic nominee. He wrote, and I quote, "I take it all back. Harris for America," unquote. Russell Brand, who has kept a low profile for some time, took to social media and expressed his opinion. Listen in.
Joe Biden is out of the race, as many people predicted and preempted. And what can we take from that most immediately? I suppose one thing we know for absolute certain is that the virtue and morality that undergirds that party is pretty flexible, isn't it? That guy, he's our president. Now, remember before the debate, people were somehow trying to maintain the idea that he was cogent and coherent, and the debate, in a sense, represented the pinnacle of that extraordinary lie. And now we've had an assassination attempt, Biden's resignation, the endorsement of Kamala Harris, but most of us have been watching Kamala Harris too. And of course, no claim of senility can be made, but this is not a garrulous and easy political figure. This is someone who does not seem at ease around public speaking in particular.
Avengers star Mark Ruffalo also endorsed the Democrats. He wrote, and I quote, "Okay, everybody, now we have our marching orders and time to hit the trail running. Not to Trump/Vance. No to the right-wing Christian religious takeover of our nation. Nothing wrong with Christianity, just shouldn't be running a nation birthed from freedom of religion," unquote. Another Avengers star, Jon Favreau, wrote, and I quote, "A courageous and selfless decision. The president did what he's done for the last 4 years. He listened to the American people and put the country's interests ahead of his own. The exact opposite of Donald Trump," unquote. Original Wonder Woman, Linda Carter, also shared similar emotions. She wrote, and I quote, "Thank you for your service, President Joe Biden. You have done so much for the American people. Donald did nothing but drive us to the bottom. If you believe in America's future and want an honorable leader, you know it's time to vote. Kamala Harris for president this November," unquote. Oscar-winning star Jamie Lee Curtis also celebrated the decision. She wrote, and I quote, "I support wholeheartedly Joe Biden and his decision to step down and to endorse unreservedly Kamala Harris. She is trusted and tested, and she is a fierce advocate for women's rights and people of color, and her message is one of hope and unity for America at her time of great national divide," unquote. Barbara Streisand also wrote, "We should be grateful for his upholding of our democracy." Biden's decision also found support from Star Trek and Star Wars actors Mark Hamill and George Takei. They both thanked the president for his services and honored his decision to let Kamala Harris be part of the race. In recent weeks, several high-profile Hollywood names had begun calling for Biden to exit the race, just weeks after headlining a record-breaking fundraiser for the president's re-election campaign. George Clooney wrote an opinion piece calling for Biden to end his bid. Clooney argued that the party should pick a new nominee, saying that the process would be messy but wake up voters in the party's favor.